From WXII 12 News, this is breaking news.
Right now at noon, we're following several breaking news stories. On the left, UNC Charlotte is in mourning for 2 people killed on the campus, and this afternoon we are learning the identities of the victims. And on the right, a Davidson County deputy is on leave in the shooting and killing of a suspect holding a knife. Also this afternoon, from the classroom to the Capitol, a sea of red crashes into Raleigh. Thousands of educators taking their message for strong schools straight to lawmakers. But we began our breaking news team coverage with our Devontae McKenneth in Charlotte on the campus where that shooting happened. Devontae, what is the very latest?
Well, Margo, we have been on campus all morning long, and the mood still at this hour is still very quiet, somber, and of course gloomy. And despite the sun shining bright, a lot of students have decided to stay away from campus, at least for now. One student saying that she cannot come back anytime soon. We'll of course hear much more from her in just a minute. First, our Kirsten Gutierrez joins us live. And Kirsten, new developments overnight, including those charges being formally filed against the now murder suspect.
Devontae, that's right. I'll get to that in a minute. But first, let's start with what UNCC's chancellor revealed on air across the local radio stations today. He identified those victims. Now, 2 victims that were killed are 19-year-old Ellis Parler from Midland, North Carolina, and the 21-year-old Riley Howell from Waynesville. Now, the spellings of these names have not been confirmed, but he says the 4 injured all range between the ages 19 and 23. Drew Piscario and Sean Dehart from Apex were also injured. Rami Alamartin from Saudi Arabia and Emily Hept from Charlotte. Now, again, the chancellor says these are all students here at UNCC. Now, the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department arrested and charged 22-year-old Tristan Terrell in the campus shooting. He's charged with 2 counts of murder and 4 counts of attempted murder. Police were called to the campus late yesterday afternoon after shots were fired. UNCC senior Mike Lee from Trinity was studying in the library when he heard shouts of active shooter. While he was terrified, he left all his belongings and hitched a ride with a stranger to safety. Lee said it's sad, but he will finish out senior year with pride.
I would still stay here because here's the thing. It doesn't matter what happens. This can happen anywhere. It doesn't matter where. Like, you can't let something like this just stop you. It's a statistic, you know, it's going to happen somewhere. It's bound to happen, and unfortunately it happened here. At the end of the day, you have to realize this is still a school place.
Likely other students are now allowed back in the buildings to collect their belongings. He had to pick up his computer bag, his phone, and even his leftover food. Now, Terrell, the suspect, is expected to be in court tomorrow afternoon. Live from UNCC's campus, Kirsten Gutierrez, WXII 12 News.
Kirsten, thank you. Also important to note at this noon hour that suspect now officially charged with 2 counts of murder and 4 counts of attempted murder. We also spoke to a sophomore from High Point who now attends UNC Charlotte, Maya M., and she says it's going to be a long while before she's able to come back to campus and feel safe. And this is a picture I want to show you this afternoon of the warning she posted on Snapchat, giving her friends the heads up about that shooting. She was in the building next to Kennedy Hall when that shooter started firing the deadly gunshots. She says that she can't fathom what the families of the victims are going through. Maya became nearly speechless when I asked her if she had any messages for the shooter. She says that she has no words for him and is sickened by what he did. Reflecting on yesterday's tragedy, she has made the decision to go back home to High Point for the summer, never thinking an active shooter would ever hit the campus of UNCC.
A guy ran past me and was like, there's a shooting happening, and it kind of took me a minute to process what was happening until I saw another girl running, calling 911.
And UNC Greensboro will hold a vigil tonight in solidarity with UNC Charlotte. It starts at 6 o'clock at the Kaplan Commons. That's in front of the Elliott University Center. All students, faculty, staff, and UNCG community members are, of course, welcome to attend. We will bring you updates all day long. And for the latest on this breaking news story, stay with WXII 12 News across all the platforms, on air and online. And make sure you visit our mobile app or head to WXI12.com. Back out here live this Wednesday afternoon, a very difficult and tough day on this Wednesday. Thursday as students end their 2018-2019 school year. I had a cousin here actually in the middle of that chaos and not knowing the unknown, that yesterday afternoon, if he was okay or not, is really a gut-wrenching feeling. I know, Margot, your daughter attends here too, and I know you were going through the same feelings, the same situation, not knowing, and of course our pain, our uneasement, it does not compare to that of the families who are suffering loss this afternoon, Margot.
You're exactly right, and I'm also thankful that my daughter's okay, but certainly my prayers are with those families who did not get good news. We'll check back with you later. Well, breaking news on the campus of Elon University this afternoon. University police say they arrested a student who brought a shotgun onto campus. Administrators say they got a tip last night that a student may have brought a weapon onto the campus. University officers contacted the student involved and found the shotgun during a search of his dorm room. Police say the student had not threatened anyone or attempted to use that weapon. The student is now charged with felony possession of a weapon on campus. University officials say they will also discipline that student. Also happening now, a sea of red T-shirts flooding Raleigh as North Carolina teachers take to the streets to demand better pay and support. This is a live look right now at the Capitol, where educators are marching towards the legislature. The North Carolina Association of Educators has several big demands for lawmakers, including more staff like counselors and psychologists, a $15 minimum wage for all school staff, expanded Medicaid, reinstated retiree health benefits, and bringing back increased pay for teachers with master's degrees. Well, educators have a packed day today in Raleigh. The NCAE predicts up to 20,000 people or more expected to take part in the rally. Our Meredith Stutz is on the ground with teachers as they march on the Capitol.
We are here in downtown Raleigh for the May 1st Day of Action held by the North Carolina Association of Educators, and surrounding me is a sea of red. People dressed in red, all ages, all socioeconomic levels, standing up, they say, for education rights. People from all across North Carolina, including right here in the Triad, we have Colleen, who is a teacher in Forsyth County. Colleen, what school do you teach at?
Meadowlark Middle School.
And you traveled all the way from Forsyth County. Why did you do this today?
Because we feel it's so important for our children to have a good public school education. They matter too, and we want to make sure that our voices are heard.
The NCAE has published goals that they hope result because of today. $15 an hour wage minimum, expanded Medicare, hiring more nurses. Why are you specifically here? What's your end goal for marching today with your kids?
Because being a teacher for the last 10 years, I've seen public education decline, and I want to make sure that it goes back up again for our children. To not have nurses in school and to not have enough guidance counselors is not fair to any of the children.
And looking ahead 10 years from now, what do you hope your kids remember from this day?
That they helped make a difference. That's why we wanted them to be a part of it today.
And you see an estimated 20,000 people will be marching here today in Raleigh and continuing on into the afternoon to push for change for the legislation to, they say, affect positive change in public schools. Reporting in Raleigh, Meredith Stutz, WXII 12 News.
Meredith, thank you. And our team coverage continues with our Mallory Lane, who boarded a bus to Raleigh with educators from the Triad taking part in today's rally. She has more on why they chose to demonstrate.
We talked to teachers, teacher assistants, custodians, and retirees. They're all coming to Raleigh to fight for change. Some of them are first-timers.
It's very exciting. I had problems sleeping last night.
Thank you. Welcome to the Education Rally.
Kara Richardson is a homebound teacher in Forsyth County with a family full of educators.
I really wanted to be there and make a voice heard for my children, my students, and retirees, because my family is a family of educators and we all deserve equal pay, and our students, who are the future of North Carolina, deserve an appropriate education with the appropriate resources and highly qualified teachers, because they are also the future of our state.
Today we're going to Raleigh to advocate for strong students, strong schools, strong communities.
Rhonda Mays is the president of the Forsyth County Association of Educators. There's a laundry list of issues these educators are fighting for, one of which are safe schools.
In order to have safe schools, it takes more than just those hardwired, things such as cameras and things of that nature. We need those helping professionals such as school social workers, school psychologists, school nurses, school counselors, in order to help our students to problem solve situations.
There are about a dozen retirees from Forsyth County making the trip. They want reinstated health benefits, which were eliminated by the General Assembly in 2017.
We want for retirees, a 5% cost of living increase. We have not had a substantial cost of living increase in several years. We also want to fully fund our employee contribution, defined contribution. These are the exact same things I told you last year that we wanted to ask for, yet here I am repeating them again, Mr. Berger.
These teachers will bring their message to legislators throughout the afternoon. Reporting in Raleigh, Mallory Lane, WXII 12 News.
We're following more breaking news right now, this time in Davidson County. That's where a suspect is in custody, killed. A suspect is killed in a deputy-involved shooting. Now state investigators are sorting out what led up to that gunfire. Bria Love joins us live now at the Sheets and Welcome where all this is happening. Bria, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Margot, we are at the location off of Old Highway 52 where Davidson County deputies were called out here at 10:45 last night to a situation involving hostage and a Sheets employee. Now, as you can see, the Sheets is back to normal this morning, but it was covered in police tape. Patrol cars were out here well into the morning hours, but I want to let you know what we do know right now. 45-year-old April Robertson entered the store displaying a knife and put it to an employee's neck. Robertson forced the employee outside where responding deputies were there to help. Robertson refused to put her weapon down, forcing deputies to shoot. Robertson died at the scene. The employee does have minor injuries, and the NCSBI was called to the scene, is now assisting in the investigation. That deputy who fired the shot is also on administrative leave. But we are following this story. We did reach out to the Davidson County Sheriff for comment. We have not heard back from him, but as more information comes on, we will update you online as well as on air. Reporting in Davidson County, Bria Love, WXII 12 News.
Bria, thank you. More breaking news now in Greensboro. That's where a man is killed in a wreck involving a motorcycle and a car. Investigators tell us that 48-year-old Keith Alston was traveling east on Gate City Boulevard just before 1 a.m. when his motorcycle hit a car at the intersection of Silver Avenue. Alston was thrown from that motorcycle and died at the scene. This wreck is still under investigation this afternoon. Next on WXII 12 News, new demands for Attorney General William Barr to resign or be impeached after a new report claims Barr did not reveal Robert Mueller's objections when he testified last month. Also, a major economic development announcement is happening now in the Triad. We've got the details on what's coming to our area.
Oh, and it still feels like summer out there. We are seeing mostly dry conditions the next couple of days, but then weekend storm chances still in the mix. We'll talk about timing and what you might expect to see Saturday and Sunday. It's next.
If you're just joining us, we're staying on top of two big stories this afternoon. First, a massive teacher rally underway now in Raleigh. This is a live look as educators from across North Carolina, including the Triad, march on the Capitol to demand more pay, respect, and resources. Later today, educators will bring their concerns to lawmakers. And the UNC Charlotte campus is in mourning for two people killed on the college campus. The chancellor told WBT Radio this morning that 19-year-old Ellis Parlier of Midland, North Carolina, and 21-year-old Riley Howell of Waynesville died yesterday. 4 other people were also hurt. The accused gunman is in jail facing murder and attempted murder charges. Greensboro police say someone is in custody this afternoon, 2 years after a man's murder. He should be in court today. Gary Everett is at the Guilford County Jail without bond. He's accused of killing DeRace Bolton. He's charged with murder and concealment of death. Bolton disappeared in September of 2016. Authorities found his skeletal remains in Brunswick County. Also happening now in Washington, Attorney General William Barr is testifying to Congress about the Mueller report for the first time. According to the Washington Post, in late March, Special Counsel Mueller wrote the Attorney General criticizing a 4-page summary did not fully capture the context of his work, creating public confusion. Mueller's letter and a follow-up phone call to Barr have been confirmed by the Justice Department. In his opening remarks, Barr said he didn't think it was in the public interest to release the report in a piecemeal fashion.
When I received the report on March 22nd, and we were hoping to have that easily identified, the 6E material, unfortunately, it did not come in that form. And it quickly became apparent that it would take about 3 or 4 weeks to identify that material and other material that have to be redacted.
A spokesperson says the special counsel never said Barr's letter was inaccurate or misleading, but he was frustrated by the picture being painted in the media. Well, happening now in Greensboro, a big economic development announcement is happening. Roy Carroll is outlining his next building project in downtown. He's touted this as one of the largest projects ever built in the Triad. It'll be going on a site that Carroll owns south of First National Bank Field. We'll have much more on this coming up tonight on WXII 12.